I felt that this also caused the seminar industry to be what it is today.
So you took this book, read it.
Ready law, then eyes open up, then got into a lot of scams. It's like, after that,
Got into a lot of scams, what do you mean?
do we really manipulate people to act in a certain way?
Yeah, so it's... Hey friends, welcome to another episode of the Learning Podcast. And if you're unsure, it's a Singaporean podcast dedicated to learning something new from every single guest on this show. And today, I'm extremely privileged to have Sean Seah on this podcast.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
And once again, I need to thank Chloe for setting this up.
Thank
you
you
so much.
for giving me this opportunity to invite Sean as well.
No worries, no worries. If you aren't sure, Sean, he's an investor, he's an entrepreneur, he's an educator, I think you are the founder of the Next Level. You have started many businesses, you have wrote many best-selling books, gone fishing with Buffett, if you are in Singapore, you'll probably have seen his video on an ad as well, teaching options trading. I think one thing that comes to mind, I had a podcast with Kelvin, right? He says that when you learn options trading, you either give market tuition fees to the market or give it to someone who's extremely experienced. And before this podcast, Sean had a podcast with Chloe in terms of sharing all his insights as well. So I would love to go into detail in terms of what he went through to what he is today. Because when I did some research on here, I realized, not to say, like when you see, wow, multi-million investor, everything, or you think that they are from a very privileged background or whatever, right? But you went through quite an interesting career route. You signed on with the military.
Yep.
And to me, that is like, okay, because I also went through the military, like, wow, you signed on. So that's a transition before you even started your entrepreneurship journey, right? So I would love to go into detail in that. So let's go all the way back, right? All the way back to your beginnings. You shared a lot of inspiration on how your dad was the one that started you off and really began this journey for you, right? But I want to go all the way back, right? How were you as a kid in school?
Well, you know how I was as a kid in school, right? There's my perspective and my teacher's perspective. I'm not too sure they will sync up well.
Let's roughly share both.
For me, I'm not the model student. I'm the second half that makes the upper half possible, correct? So for me, academically wise, somehow I couldn't quite do well. But reflecting back, it's also my attitude. So I'm not really a very studious student. I like to play sports. I like to play a lot and spend most of my time playing soccer, reading comics. Very typical person. I thought it's typical, but maybe it's not. So really didn't do well in school. For secondary, I guess I remember, like, even from secondary school, right? I was in the sports class. It was the class that was created to test out the idea of sports school. Oh. So my principal, Mr. Mu, back then, which is the founder of sports school.
Oh, I still remember.
Yeah, he tested. He became like a laboratory students. Kind of thing. Yeah, laboratory students. But it was an experience. So we were put in this class. We play sports every single day. I love it. But by secondary 3, my grades were so bad they had to stop me from playing sports. So it was quite a devastating experience. They said, okay, you're no longer in the sports class. Get out of the class because of your grades. Focus on your grades.
So you went to a non-sports class?
I went to a non-sports class, but I continued to play sports. So it was even more difficult. Because sports class, we had dedicated time for sports, and then after that, the remedial, we do remedial together. But once I'm out of that class, I play sports, but the remedial, everything, I have to own self catch up. But somehow, begin to do better. Probably the wake-up call. I remember I did so well that I get good progress award every single year until JC2. So it was so bad that I progressed a little bit, it becomes the best progress award.
But for the fact you went into JC, that means you did quite well.
I managed to pass the JC grade, and then I went into the JC that I won through sports again. So
which JC was this?
Temasek JC.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Back then used to be a school that a lot of people aim to go to.
So there was TJC, right? And I'm just curious to know, because you had a podcast with Chloe previously, right? You mentioned a lot about faith and the lessons you learned, right? I'm just curious to know your journey, because I know some of my friends, my Christian friends also tell me, right, that it is not easy on a journey. You reflect on all these reflections and like, how do you come to a conclusion or how you ingrain that belief? So how did religion play a part in your formative years, in your first 18 years before you enlisted?
Well, actually, in my formative years, it was easy, because Anglican High was a Christian school.
Anglican High, okay.
If you are the Christian, you are the so-called the mainstream people. So I think I had it easy for me. So thank God for that. And it wasn't easy in the sense, there was the era during my secondary school, JC, suddenly got a lot of very sell-on, very very enthusiastic Christians, right? They will go around the MRT and then like force you to become Christians.
Oh, really?
I don't know whether I think
I must say I had that in my school. Yeah,
Really?
I encountered before.
really?
Yeah.
oh, so it lasted for so long.
In NYJC, I mean, there are people like in front of like trying to give you flyers and all
Oh,
this.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you take mine then? Or
I didn't take part in that. I felt embarrassed of that. It's like, I mean, at that point in time. So I felt like, wow. And then after that happened, a lot of people, when they see, like you say you're Christian, they will, no. It's like you're going to sell them
I
something.
feel like it's a preconceived notion. I mean, I feel like it's for any religion as well. It's just that, because I just genuinely believe like for every religion, there's good aspects of it that you want to take in, and it's a personal belief and a personal journey as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So for yourself, like how was that period for you in terms?
Actually, it was okay. I didn't have it back. I mean, we're in Singapore, man. People don't throw stones at you for like preaching, right? It's just that in fact, thinking back, I wish I have done a lot more. Maybe same thing, go to MRT and give tracks. I could have been more passionate, I felt. Yeah, but back then I didn't. I was playing sports, doing comics. But I guess the cool thing is, okay, this one maybe sidetrack for those, let's say you are someone of faith, you have certain things that you want to instill into your children. It was actually like, my dad brought me to church and then brought my whole family to church. But I wasn't very religious. But I can tell you over the years, all these things start to build up in the mind. So you look at me, well, this guy cannot be Christian one last time. I mean, okay, I'm not that bad. Okay, it's just that I guess after a while, all these start to build up, and when maybe at a certain point in time, the plant will start to bloom. Okay, but it didn't show the earlier years. So you don't even know that I'm a Christian, probably. Yeah.
When it came to enlisting, I know your dad, he's retired already, right?
He was still in the military.
He was still in the military. So at that point when you made the decision, like I'm sure there are many options that you could have taken, right? Like in JC, I'm not sure during your time to like, got some scholarship, go with that bond or that kind of stuff, right? But when exactly do you sign on, and could you share more about the process of you going JC to army? Were you like in OCS immediately, that kind of stuff, fast track?
No, don't such thing. They talk about white horse, all that.
White House.
I think the white horse thing, white horse meaning to say, it is a term that I don't know whether is it used now.
Yeah,
where
it's used,
your parents are very high-ranking officers, ministers.
Yeah.
Then they will highlight you. But my dad, I mean, he's a lieutenant colonel back then. I don't think it's that high rank enough to.
But still high rank.
I don't feel that I have a lot of like privilege looking at how much the gun I got. No, I same as normal people. So initially, I remember I wanted to sign on because I was inspired by my
Was
parents.
it in like JC secondary school already?
Okay, JC, what happened after I took my O-levels, I came out from the exam, I told my girlfriend, who is my wife now, I said, hey, I think let's look for some job, like to be a clerk or things like that, because I'm going to fail my A-levels. I was very sure I'm going to fail my A-levels.
Oh, really?
Really.
Wow.
Then I said, actually not that bad, just make a certain decent income every month. I don't think I'm going to university. Then results come out, can go university, quite good. Then that's why I say, I think I want to sign on. Because if your results very bad, you also can't really sign on to become officer, right? Then I said I want to sign on. So
This is before you even entered the army, is it?
yeah. Okay, and I think that thinking back, the reason is because when I look at my dad as a role model, you want to follow him. So that's the path. So if let's say your dad is doing this job and you don't want to do the job, maybe your dad didn't portray it in a good light, but my dad portrayed it in a very good light.
Wow,
The
okay.
military. And I remember, back then, there was a seat test in BMT, 3 months, there was a seat test, everything. And after the seat test, right, there was a recruitment talk. So if you want to sign on, you have to go to the recruitment talk. During the day of the recruitment talk, I felt really very sick. So they asked me to go and see doctor, and they give me attend-C. Attend-C means you can go home and rest. Then I told my officer, I said, sir, I really want to go for the recruitment talk because I want to sign on. They said, hey, don't worry, you come back and we rearrange for you. Then okay, I mean, if he promised me that, then okay. Then when I come back, then I keep asking for it, then don't have. So the whole entire BMT, I didn't go for any recruitment talk, and I didn't get into the recruitment list.
Oh, okay.
So I went to the OCS. Wow, OCS was like hell, man. It was so tough. Then I said, well, luckily I never signed on. No kidding, I was saying, well, luckily I never signed on. It was such a tough life. I mean, for those who went through OCS, I think you all know. Oh, and it's like the amount of time you get to go home is so little, and every day the amount of sleep. Hey, by the way, maybe now we're a bit different now. If your son go to OCS,
For context, what year was this in?
2000, year 2000.
Wow,
yeah,
2000.
so 24 years ago. Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't sign on. Then eventually, even in OCS, I was offered this thing called MTA, Military Training Award, to go to West Point to study. I said, well, no man, no joke. Please pass. Okay. Then my officer said, hey, you should sign on. No, I said, yeah, sure.
So you
sure.
actually, because you went through OCS, you made a decision, I don't want to sign on.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I
then
said,
what next? Wow.
yeah, so after that, I guess OCS wasn't a very
Nice experience? Or representative
yeah,
experience?
not
of the army?
representative experience of the career. It was very tough training, so tough, but it really trained us to be very tough. Then when I actually got posted to guards formation, the whole entire perspective changed.
Yeah, active unit lah.
Active unit. So my boss, I think my bosses, all the guards officers, I really felt that they make me feel that this career, you see so much pride in them. And you see that they take care of you so much. And they really teach you about life rather than just make you do your military stuff. And towards
You're
the
a
end,
PC, right? Yep.
I was a PC. Okay, maybe I was a light strike PC. I don't know whether you know what's that. I sit on a very special vehicle, so I don't need to walk on. so perspective change when your life change, right?
Not as tough as OCS lah.
Yeah. But after I sign up, I never sit on the vehicle again. They make me walk, man. Kena marketing scam now. Just kidding. So my bosses were very good. That time was Captain Yong Ifang lah. So now I think probably Colonel. Really amazing guy. And a lot of my fellow PCs all went to sign on also.
Wow.
I think because of him lah. They actually put those people who think that won't want to sign on into light strike. Then suddenly all of us want to sign on. So I think he did a great job. So at that point in time, I was also thinking whether to sign on or not. I remember going to my church. Then my dad said, you should talk to other people. Don't just talk to me. My dad said, you talk to me, I'll give you one perspective. Talk to more people. So he asked me to talk to some uncle, auntie, not auntie lah, uncle, auntie, because I was either going to become an accountant or I studied accountant, or go for sign on. So this one again, my perspective, I'm not trying to bash any career. When I spoke to back then some of my seniors, my uncles and aunties, right, who were doing accountancy, so I said, how's being an accountant like? Then they, it's a job lor. It's like
No passion lah.
when I see it's like, well, I don't want to like be talk like that when I'm your age. Actually wrong. Accountant, I don't know. You don't know how much money you make, man. Your military, no, I just, but there's different perspective lah. Because I meet very passionate accountants.
Oh really?
After that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Very interesting people. But back then the military people, wow. When you ask them about sign on, they turn on their recruitment mode already. They will tell you, wow, this is the career, you serve the country, wow, so much honor. I said, wow, I want to be like that, It's like when I'm 40 years old, I want to talk like that. So I sign on now. But it's true.
So you signed on during your unit days or just after you ORD with your...
Just before I ORD.
Just before ORD.
So don't have a lot of back pay, those kind of things. It's a bit not worth it now. But I felt it was very good because I actually had an experience being an officer first. A lot of people who sign on during OCS, they don't know what it is, So
An active life and OCS life is completely different.
it's very different. So they don't know what they're getting into, and they may be disappointed, or they may be like, "Hey, this is not what I signed up for." Yeah. So for me, I actually, I really like the career after that. Yeah.
Then moving on, after that, I assumed you need to go for studies, right? Like they sent you, you study like.
Well, best time of my life, man. It's like they pay for my studies, they pay me to study. Wow, one of the richest.
Where did you study overseas or locally?
I studied local, NTU. So I took an academic training award. I think no longer existent already, that award. So study NTU business. And it's fun, man. It's like no worries, and I know that whatever lah.
I got money, right?
Yeah, got money somewhere. It's like it's awesome. It's a super good life.
I'm curious to know the transition, right? Like how long were you a regular? Because I'm sure you climbed the ranks to be a captain or even a major, right? Then that transition to entrepreneurship. How was that like?
Okay, so interestingly, after I went back to studies, after 1 year, after I went back to army, 1 year later I got married, and during the marriage phase, I began to think like, I began to think further for my family. Will I have enough time? My finances. I began to think a lot.
So do you mind if I ask how old were you when you got married?
25.
25.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then 25, you're talking about you're still in university-ish.
No, I was in military.
military
back
already
in
lah.
military as a OCS platoon commander already.
Oh, okay.
So back then I'm thinking, I like my career. I really like it. It's just that may not be the best for the family in my perspective. Okay, but reflecting back is maybe myself lah, because I'm very competitive. I want to achieve more, so I spend a lot of time in the career, and I do enjoy it a lot. So I feel that I'm spending a lot of time away from the family. So I decided to do something for myself. My bond was 6 years, so I got 5 years left. I began to start planning. So I planned for 5 years. I didn't jump off the ship.
Wow, so you planned for 5 years. Wow, okay.
I started thinking about it 5 years. Then I started to invest. I started to do quite a number of things
This
for
was
the next 5 years.
internally incepted, right? Not you talking to other people like, okay, I need to do this for the love of my family. Because my assumption is you prioritize, I think everyone should, your family is always number one before anything else lah.
I think it was only when I got married then I realized how important it was. And the idea spark began to search for certain things. In fact, there was one particular incident that really pivoted, which is my boss. I think can say her name lah. It's a lieutenant colonel. It's okay lah. I mean she already left long ago already.
Okay.
So Lieutenant Colonel Lim Song Bi, Sox lah, I think you
Yeah.
know her, right? She during one of the like review and things like that. So she was my boss, I want to do well in the career. Then she passed me a book called Creating Wealth by Robert G. Allen.
Wow, because I
Yeah.
know you went for a course later with
Robert G. Allen, yeah.
Oh, so he passed you a book.
Yeah, like
Random lah.
yeah.
Like before this, were you into like self-help or anything? Oh no, so that was the first encounter.
That was one of the first encounters.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the book drop?
Creating Wealth by Robert
Creating
G.
Wealth.
Allen.
Wow.
It's about creating wealth. So about buying properties and things like that. So a bit confused like, why you pass me that book? But she also told me a realistic perspective. She said that she knows what I want to achieve. I want to achieve very like
Big goals.
good career, like big goals. And she said that based on my academics, those kind of things, very hard. Because I'm a local student. So I thought I did well enough. But they
Local
say,
student as in like what? You're not a scholar, Safos, the top.
I'm not a scholar, South
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
But actually, well, I mean, thinking back, some of my friends also are not, but now they are also doing very well. But it's okay. I'm quite happy also. So she told me, yeah, because I'm a local student. So she said, chance is very low. So if you want to hit that, what you want, right, maybe outside.
So she told you lah.
She told me.
Wow.
So you see, she cared for me beyond the career, you see. So I think that's what I like about a lot of my bosses in the military.
Fortunate to have them lah. Wow. Right.
Actually, even when I was about to leave, right, a lot of them, when they came and advised me, right, it is not so much that, I mean, they're also going to retire. There's nothing much for them to gain on, But they really care for you as a person, really. I thought really a lot of great military commanders,
So you took this book, read it.
Ready, then wow, eyes open up, then got into a lot of scams. It's like after that,
Got into a lot of scares, what do you mean?
no kidding. After that, should invest, should grow your money. Then people like introduce me, whatever nonsense, I just invest. Then lost Sunshine Empire, whatever scam you think of, I kena.
Wait, can you share more about that? Like, because I also know you got like the CFD, like lost a lot. Like, what
CFD is not scam lah. CFD. Okay. So the first one is by this friend of mine. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. So he told me, hey, there's this fund. Yeah, disclaimer lah. So I mean, if he watch this and I'm not blaming him because he also don't know one. He said, hey, on internet there's this thing you put 5,000 every month they give you 1,000 Whoa. It's like imagine you don't know anything.
But at that time lah, because I also have some friends also that fell into this, also lost a lot of money lah.
Yeah.
But it was there lah.
So he said 5,000, then 10,000 is 2,000 every month. I said, wow, like that can retire already. Then put money in, then within 1 month gone, disappear. Can't get the money out. But that time you were like hoping that it's true lah, right? Then after that the next
more
one
trustful, is it?
but lack of the confidence that came with ignorance lah. Okay, you don't know what the shit is happening. You thought it may work. Yeah, but that time 5,000 was very
A lot,
painful.
it was a lot.
Yeah, it was very painful.
This was, let me guess, 2007, 8?
2000, still 2005, still around that year. Yeah, 2005. Then after the next one, I got a lot of scam. You all listen to the story.
Just a few.
So the next one was Sunshine Empire lah. Don't know whether you heard of it. So this one now I become smarter already. I say, hey, internet one I don't want touch. Okay, you want me to introduce me? I want to see the office first. So Sunshine Empire, this friend who introduced me, he said, hey, you come to the office and say, wow, go to Toa Payoh, very nice building at I think it's at the HDB there, the HDB Central there. Then you go up there, the building very impressive. There's a big
Interior
lion
design,
head.
very nice.
If you all go and search Sunshine Empire, some people will know. Then I walk in there, the people all like dressed so nice, Rolex watch, everything. And also one. Then after that, sign if you make, but this one their returns more realistic. Their returns is 20% a year. Which that time they tell us, your compound will be very good. So I said, okay, did my due diligence, sign. Actually, I also don't know what they're doing. Like, you give them 10,000, what they do, you also don't know. Then in the end, also a few months later, saw the newspaper close down.
What would it sold? Like, is it property or investments lah?
I'm so apologetic and embarrassed to tell you, I don't know what the heck they're doing. They just say, you give me the money, I'll make back for you. You don't know what they're doing, Okay, I don't know what they're doing.
But I feel like it's all these scams, right? Then that sort of have led to you, sort of have shaped the way in what you're doing, right? You're telling people what you're coming into, right? At least.
But I can tell you, it is never ending on that. Because the scammers are very, very innovative. They innovate and learn faster than us. So they will come out with things that you think that it should be legit, then you will know.
So at what point did you stop being scammed?
I think haven't I think maybe still gonna scam every day. I don't know. I wouldn't say I stopped being scammed, but I began to ask a lot of things. So there was this particular thing that I think I make a right decision. There's this thing called Geneva Gold. So at that point in time, same thing, my friend introduced it to me. But that one I also don't know whether it's a scam. They say you buy a piece of gold and they give you the gold. Okay? Then they say the gold, because you hold the gold for us, we pay you 2% a month. Sounds pretty good, ma. It's like worst case scenario, you still have to go what?
24% per year, like, hey.
Yeah, which is pretty good, right?
Yeah, very good.
So calculate everything, put a lot of money to the goal. Then I begin to ask, where they get the 2% from, correct? You begin to ask, like, where you get the 2% from? Then they explain to me how basically instead of putting in the warehouse, store certain things, you store with you lah. Then after that, I begin to dig out a bit more. I realized that when you buy the gold from them, they already have a markup. So I dig and dig further. I say, I don't know whether it's a scam lah, but I don't think you can pay me 2% per month sustainably. If I'm you, I don't think I can do that. So if I don't think I can do that, maybe I shouldn't invest. So I take out. Then within 1-2 months, the whole thing crashed. Then a lot of people lost money. But a lot of people lost money but still have to go lah. So it's not lost everything. So I begin to question a lot more, become more, have my own investment framework, and then those that's outside what I can understand, I don't invest on. Like cryptocurrency, I don't really invest because not that it's a scam lah, but I don't understand lah. So lesser mistakes lah, I would say.
All this happened when you're in army lah.
Yeah, most of them.
Then, okay, like in terms of transitioning, right? I assume you finished your bond, then you went to the real world, outside world, right?
Yeah, right.
How's that jump like? Well, at that point of time when you jumped ship, right?
Yeah.
From an income standpoint, do you really like? I'm not sure if were you in a seminar business already, or were you like making enough money outside to be comfortable to leave the force?
Yes, I already calculated. Actually, after my bond, I extend 1 more year because I wanted that buffer, and I actually do enjoy my last posting. It was actually a lot of great places lah. So I extended 1 more year, and then after that, based on calculation, based on mathematics, how much investment cash flow you have, and do a bit of part-time teaching. At that time, I was doing some part-time with another friend.
What kind of teaching?
Investing. So the person asked me to teach investing, and then came out with certain things. Should be enough to sustain. But when I leave the place on my last day, get my pink IC, knowing that next month on the 10th of every month don't have pay already. Then actually it's quite scary. It's quite scary. So it took me probably like half a year to get used to it. Because every month still be scared.
Is it the anxiety, is it?
Yeah.
Or what?
But you just not used to it, suddenly no pay. Because actually got a lot of buffer. You can calculate every month spend correctly.
Logically, you know like there's enough buffer, but you still have that like...
Suddenly don't have cash flow coming in. Then how? So it's quite interesting. But once you get used to it, you never, I feel you never want to go back to getting a pay. Because when you get a pay now, after running businesses, you know that it looks very stable when you get a pay, but someone out there is trying to get the cash. Then the guy also may make mistake on it. So I rather be the person at the front. Because I have more control, I can do more things. Rather than at the back, you just collect a certain stable income, hoping that it's stable, Because it may be gone one. I think Chloe also went through like business with us. You know that at the front, the kind of craziness where people are struggling.
Technically, the employees are shielded from that stress. You know you're getting paid.
Yeah, but they are at different levels, you face different stress.
So like, because I know you like teaching here and there, right? Like, because also, how many business do you start? And like I think eight big, is it? Like, when do you start that? And what was that progress like?
We talk about the education one. Those very stupid one that I did last time. We sweep it under the carpet. Okay, so
okay, do you mind sharing a little bit what do you mean stupid?
I started a lot of business.
Like should because people see you now like you're doing the next level of obviously, but you have done so many things, right? I'm just curious.
Okay, some very quick, very stupid one now. Okay, so MLM I don't think it's stupid. To me, I think it's the best entrepreneurship course I can attend. I did USANA. Okay, why I did USANA? It's an MLM company. It's because I read this book by Robert G. Allen talking about multiple streams of income. Inside, he specifically mentioned USANA. I went to say, can I be your downline? So first time people say, usually I have to sell MLM so hard. This guy come to me and say, hey, I want to sign. He said, then the person tried to pitch me. I said, no, you pitch me, just sign me. Then the person, it's like very funny. I want to pay you money. You want to sell me somewhere. I already sold already. So I tried USANA and I really learned a lot about marketing, about sales.
Sorry, what's USANA? Like what product?
It's a supplement. It is something like Herbalife, New Skin, same. So this is one business. Did actually quite okay. It's just that at that point in time, I did so many things. I said you have to review Then I focus. Actually, my investing is still the best. So I focus back on investing.
When you say like did very well, right? Do you mind if I ask like is it like do sales? You find people like find connections.
That time we did all on internet marketing. So that time the Robert G. Allen funnel everything. People on internet click, they sign up, and then after that you will do a sales call with them, and then I say, hey, you want to? There's a script basically. They say this, you say that. Everything's scripted already. It's damn amazing. Then after that, enroll them. Then after that, your leader will train them, and then start to build. So went for some of the conventions, met quite a lot of amazing people. This was one portion of it. And concurrently, I was also writing books, doing trading, doing investing, Then I was also running this one quite funny also. A souvenir business. It's quite,
Souvenir business?
okay, is it souvenir? Do I call it souvenir? Okay, what happened was this. My wife's friend, who was an auditor in PwC back then, he suddenly quit and then said that he's doing business. So we're very interested what business you do ma.
Yeah.
So he told us to visit him he was at Kovan Mall there. I remember Kovan Mall, the hawker center there, he's doing pasar malam. I said, wow, auditor come and do pasar malam.
Oh.
It's like I was quite shocked.
Yeah.
So after that I was actually looking there. So he was sharing with me. So that time about 3 p.m. Then not much people around. Pasar malam at night then very busy, right? Wow, he shocked a lot of people. Right? Then he shocked he sell earrings. So earrings, right? And then it's a lot of school girls down there. Then I see, wow. Then they there put one for $2. Then they put 5 for $10. I said, who don't know how to calculate 5 for $10? Right? But people buy in 5, then pay $10, $10. So I calculate, wow, one kid pay $10, $10. A lot.
What year was this?
That one was also very early, 2007, 2008.
Oh, okay.
Now everything Taobao already. So after that he shared with us, hey, actually like you see the auntie there tending the shop, I pay her $50 for the day one, then another $50 for the night. Then this whole shop costs how much? He calculate for us. Basically, then he go Bangkok, buy earrings, come back. Last time go Bangkok. Now everything Taobao.
Yeah.
So he shared with us every month one stock about maybe can make about 8 to 10,000. And then he said concurrently I got about five shops in Singapore.
Yeah,
I said, wow. I said, can I get into a pasar malam? He said, the pasar malam is a syndicate one. It's like you cannot get, it's not so easy to get in.
Really?
Last time I don't know about now. So he said then they will rotate from Hougang to Bedok to then keep rotating, but 5 keep rotating. I said, wow, $50,000 a month, not bad, right? I also want to make but I couldn't get into the pasar malam business. So I went to Bugis. There's this red colour building back then.
Yeah. I remember the red colour building.
So the agent tells us, hey, next time there will be a bridge over cross. Wow, you become very big.
Yeah.
But never lah. But we rented the store there, $2,000. Same thing lah. We go and buy souvenirs we went to Bangkok to buy Singapore souvenirs here to try to sell to tourists.
Yeah.
Within few months closed down already lah. Because nobody will walk inside the red building.
Is it like one Ulu corner?
Nobody will walk up because level 2. Level 2. So,
I know the level 1 traffic is a lot, but is it level 2 lah?
yeah, nobody goes up to level 2 one.
Okay.
So okay lah, lesson learned.
Wow, but I feel like you learn a lot of lessons along the way lah, like going through all these businesses.
Test and learn, yeah. Yeah, but I don't know whether I learned a lot from there. But again, market research very important. And then, but over the years I learned if you want to do something that's successful, the best way is to model after a successful company first. Like,
Don't try to innovate so much, is it?
Initially, don't try to innovate so much. I think that you must master the foundation. So it's like you want to become a great musician. You go and play Beethoven 1 million times first, You cannot be, wow, I got a piano, I want to invent my own music. What the heck? Slap your face, right? So same thing in a business. Try not to innovate so much first, because business is not just about the product, about marketing, about cash flow, a lot of things, So you master the basics first, then get some success ready, then start to tweak things here and there to innovate.
I'm very curious because a lot of people will be like, once bitten, twice shy, right? They will want to stay away from all those mistakes. But what keeps you keep on testing, like just want to make sure you can get it eventually? Like, what is that motivation behind it?
I think a few things lah. Okay, first of all is my desire to really want to hit a financial goal. So I was driven by money, frankly speaking. But the money is because same thing. I want to have a certain amount of time with my family. I want to have control over my time. So I tell myself definitely I just keep testing. Eventually will work out one. And of course to reinforce my belief, I go and read up a lot of people who fail and then succeed lah. So frankly, I find evidence to support myself that if I keep testing, it will work. Then Thomas Edison also test like don't know how many light bulbs, how many times. Eventually when he exhausts all ways to fail, what is left is the ways to succeed. So I thought it makes sense, but actually that doesn't really make sense. There's unlimited ways to fail. So, but I guess each time you fail, you learn, you keep improving. Ultimate success formula.
So going all the way back to your first, I would say maybe formal business endeavor, right? Like Vic, like when did that formal business commence for you?
Okay, so I was teaching part-time with another friend back then. So we started teaching value investing. But the business dynamics didn't go really well. Probably you have his side of story, I have my side of story. Didn't feel that the synergy was there. So I decided to stop. That was in 2013. So after stopping, right, I wanted to just focus on investing, forget it, no more entrepreneurship. I wasn't really an entrepreneur back then. I was just a trainer. Then one of the students whom I trained in one of the classes came to me and say, actually, your teaching is really impactful. Do you consider starting a business again? And I say, no, I'm not. I don't really understand marketing, sales. I only know how to invest. Then he painted me this picture. Very interesting. He said, hey, Sean, imagine you are the top surgeon in the world. Okay, you don't need to bother about the surgery, nothing. You don't need to bother about the running the hospital.
You just do it.
Yeah, you just come clean your hands like that. We help you put on the glove. Then you just do the surgery. He painted me this picture. Now Korean drama a lot this kind. Right? Then after you cut the body. Then he said, you just do what you love. The rest I handle. Then I said, wow, so good. Then I said, okay, if for that to happen, what do I need? So it took some time for him to convince me because I didn't really know how to run a business, and I had the field business in Bugis.
A lot of stuff lah.
I said, not very good . Then he said, I just need an office and maybe 2 staff. So I rented an office in International Plaza. Then I hired my first 2 employee ever. Okay, one of them is my cousin, Winnie. And after that, what happened is this gentleman helped me to do a bit of marketing here and there. After that, don't know why he get bored or what, then suddenly disappear.
Oh.
So I am stuck with an office of a renter for 2 years and 2 person that I employed. So I'm thinking, okay, so I actually went to study the office terms. I said, okay, I can just pay a bit of money, can close the office. I said, but the 2 people, it's like, wow, suddenly I caused unemployment rate to increase in Singapore.
The responsibility.
And then my friend somehow is like, wow, there's the part that made me feel very bad. I said, wow, I'm going to make people lose their job. And I think, never mind, let me try. I try to ownself do marketing. So I went to Facebook to do some posting, sent to Eventbrite. Very, very simple thing.
What year was this?
2014.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's the start of VIC now. Why is it called VIC? Because I go and search, what's it called? Namecheap. See what domain name is possible.
Yeah.
So,
okay, buy lah.
Value investing.
Cheap domains.
Value investing institute, value investing school, value investing college. Can okay buy can already. So that's how value investing college got started. And then a lot of people will think that there's a very special meaning behind the name, but don't have domain possible. Then Then after that, I ran Facebook ads. So put a few posts, start to boost. I don't know how to run all the ads. I just boost posts only. Then the link goes to Eventbrite. Eventbrite, they sign up, then they come to my office, then we do a preview. And then it works.
What were you teaching then? Like just investing or like
value
trading?
investing.
Value investing.
It's like a 3 days program. And then they pay a couple of thousands to learn. And that time I already learned how to sell options and things like that. So I thought it's pretty good skills for them to learn. So that was the first business. And after that, I became more and more interested to think of how to expand my business. So I went to look for success resources, went to look for a lot of people, went to say, hey, can I collaborate? That time my marketing still not very strong. Until my first strong marketer that came in was Dr. Daniel Kao. He was also one of my students. Then I met him at, I still remember, Jalan Kayu, Prata shop, talking to him. And he asked me, hey Sean, is there anything you need help with or not? Then I said, do you know how to do marketing? He said, yeah, I went for this course by Ivan Ong. Very funny. So he actually learned how to do some marketing. That one is it called CPA marketing? Something like that. And then he said, I can help you do marketing. Wow, when he came in, the whole entire business went. Then I was very grateful to him. So I also gave him stakes in the business.
When you say like search as in like what, the volume of applicants, the quality of candidates, then the more courses you're conducted, more revenue.
Yes, a lot more revenue. Then within so the first year startup, we hit 1 million. I also don't know whether it's good or bad. But first year revenue 1 million, I thought it was okay, decent. Everybody can give bonus. I remember when I give them bonus, they also got shocked, like wow. I also don't know whether is it a lot or not a lot, I just try to give as much as possible. Then but I was still on a very a very tight budget because I don't know whether this can sustain or not. I don't want suddenly people lose their job. So I still remember when I spoke to Success Resources and did well for the first run. Success Resources is a big event organizer. So I sort of make a big bet with them. I said, hey, you give me a speaking slot, I guarantee you a certain amount. And I open a check, I say, I write everything here already. If don't cross the amount, you just bank the check. It's quite a big amount. Then I managed to hit it, and after that they were
grateful, or then
they were pretty
subsequent engagements.
They give me a lot more a world tour with Robert Kiyosaki. Then that year we were going a lot of places, and that time I was thinking actually one man can already . So one man show, I just go settle everything. Again, want to keep the budget low. Then I remember my cousin Winnie say, hey, is it okay I just pay and then go together with you?
Oh.
Then I feel pay to go together with me. Then because she also wanted to travel.
Had the experience .
Then I said, never mind I just pay for you just go . Then but after that it became very fun . We began to actually have this culture. We travel a lot. And the confidence grew when we start to get better revenue.
Can you just go back to the moment where you first stepped on stage? Because I know there was a lot of things at stake, right?
Oh, damn scary.
Do you even mind sharing like what specifically were you selling? How many people in a room? Do you visualize? How do you prepare?
Yes. First step on stage, on the big stage or the room one?
Wait, sorry, wait, got room one and stage one.
So okay, the smaller business one is like we run ads. People come to my office. Maybe like 20, 30 people.
I'm talking about the big stage.
Oh, the big stage one I remember. Well Summit.
So where was it? Suntec, is it?
It was in Suntec. Okay, so it was very last minute. What happened was because I've been bugging Success Resources for some time now. Then after that, they actually gave me a slot there. So also took out my offer and things like that. So that time, how many people was there? Probably a couple of thousands.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was very nervous. Very nervous. Then I need to actually produce the results somehow.
Yeah.
But I was calculating, I said, if my sales very bad, only 1% of the whole audience sign up, actually break even already.
Yeah.
Can pay for the amount that I put in. Then I told myself, okay, since I know that even if lousy performance, I can also break even, so money is not the concern.
Yeah.
It is whether am I good enough for them to invite me back?
Yeah.
So I say, but if I pressure myself, I will perform worse. So I tell myself, let's have some KPIs. Okay, the KPI is very simple. The KPI is, number one, I go on stage, my photographer take very nice photo for branding, I win already.
Yeah, win already. Oh, that's a big win, right?
So I just have that in my mind. So I say, okay, I go on stage, I don't faint. I thought
it's a win.
They don't even know whether I thought because pictures doesn't show me stuttering.
Yeah.
I win already. So I keep my barrier or like my benchmark really low to make myself feel that I'm winning. So I go on stage, I saw my photographer there, then I like I say, oh, win already.
Yeah.
The rest is just bonus. Then quite relaxed. So talk. Then after, okay, no, did well. But I remember really like stepping onto the stage, seeing the crowd like raw, it's very intense.
Electrifying.
Very scary, yeah. Then it is I felt very nervous, frankly. But I just tell myself, okay, just take picture, win already.
I know, side digital, right? How do you prepare for something like this?
How do I prepare for something like that?
Yeah, for how did you prepare for that event? Like,
You mean the speech?
Yeah, the
and all that?
speech itself, the selling itself, like the research that gone into it, like the sales books. I'm sure you like went through them. Like, how did you go into? Do you like attend previous Success Resources talks and like see how the previous speaker do it, all that kind of stuff?
I do. Okay. So obviously the first thing I try to do is to model after people.
Yeah.
So I see how they do, then I try to do the same thing. But I have a lot of practices in my office where I try to like use the same pitch. Didn't work, So I have a lot of assumptions. Huh?
Sorry, it didn't work as in like you micro tested them in the office, is it?
Yeah, so the sales conversion was very low. Sometimes nobody buy. I had that multiple times. So I had a lot of assumptions. So my assumption is like, if I have a very good offer and they will buy right? If very good, they will buy But actually, this is the correct theory. If your offer is good enough, people will buy. But what is good to you may not be good to people.
Yeah.
Back then, this one I just share openly. Okay, so on this podcast, and I felt that this also caused the seminar industry to be what it is today.
Yeah.
Okay, back then I always feel that actually what's important for investing it is to have a proper mindset, have good support, actually have all the like position sizing and all these things. To me, I know that this is important. But the audience don't know, you see. So when I offer this to them, they also like, what is this, man? Just tell me how to make money. Then I feel like, I feel like quite very upset. I feel
Misunderstood.
I misunderstood and I couldn't figure out. It's like the offer is so good. If someone offered this to me, I would have bought it. Why people don't buy? But you must understand, whatever level you're at, whatever you think that people want is what you think. But what people really think they want is what they think.
Yeah.
So after that, I began to ask. I remember the aha moment came when I was with a few of my friends, Ivan, Paul. We were at the MRT after the preview. I went there, I said, hey, nobody buy. It's like terrible. My business is going to close down already. That one was when I was doing the initial marketing myself. Then I asked them, hey, why did you all join my program? I asked them, yeah. So getting customer feedback, very important. Because I also didn't know. They joined
Learning
the
through the
program.
hard way.
They say, I joined a program because I want to learn how you do the VIOS options secret method. Then I asked Paul, I said, you know? He said, same. I also want that method. I said, seriously? That's all you all want? They said, okay. Next one, I just focus on that one. I don't care about what community support, whatever this. Yeah. They say all this community support is important, but you will not know until you hit a certain stage. Yeah. So initially when we buy, we also don't know all this important one.
It's just the initial concept that you need to use to sell.
Yes.
Get them the foot into your gate.
Correct. So you sell them what they want, but you give them what they need. This is what we mentioned after that. So the next few preview I try, my VIOS very powerful, see make so much money. Boom.
So this is in the office lah.
This is in the office. So by the time I went on stage, I already know that
what
conversion,
could work.
What could work. But I learned a lot of other things. A lot of things like seeding, inception, a lot of
Wait,
other-
what seeding inception? What is it? NLP stuff or?
Oh, okay, by the way, let me go back to the portion why I feel that the seminar industry, sometimes people frown upon it.
Yeah.
Okay, you must understand. Actually, I truly believe a lot of the trainers, when we first want to teach, right, we really want you to succeed properly one. But when we tell you the way to properly succeed, right, a lot of people not willing to go through it. They say, hey, tell me the secret special sauce to success. So, I mean, if I don't pitch it in a way like as if there's a secret sauce, you also will never come into put your foot in the door and you'll never experience what the real thing is. So somehow we have to tweak our marketing pitch to suit the audience, right? Then in the end, a lot of seminars providers will have to tweak in that way lah. Then people say, hey, you all sell us magic bullet.
Yeah, when you say in that way means like that magic bullet, the get rich
the
quick
magic bullet, the
scheme.
get rich quick scheme.
So that is from the feedback or what has worked at scale for you to get sales.
In terms of sales. So it is sold in this way because that's how the audiences want it to be sold. I mean, okay, I should take responsibility. But if you spend a lot of time to educate them that that's not the way to do it, you can't get rich quick, or that nobody will buy. Right? But the truth is you can't get rich quick. And I think over the years, some of us, we became, I would say, become very skillful salespeople. So we are able to explain to you that it is not a get rich quick scheme, but so okay, I just say this pretty openly. So you can see our words, you can see our slides, right, to say this is not a get rich quick thing. But however, the feeling that in the end is evoked in you is actually almost possible.
It's incepted.
But it's incepted. So we don't use words to actually create the feeling. We use other ways to create the feeling, which is a very skillful sales technique. So in the end, if anybody say, hey, how come I never make money fast? I told you.
It is something you never explicitly said, but you make them feel that way.
It is made them feel that way through testimonials, through a lot of things. Like, hey, if that guy can do, I also can do. So, by the way, the testimonials are all real. It's just that it may not be the typical example of what everybody may go through. But I felt that the industry, I choose to believe, has changed again. Because now that we are going a lot more online. Okay, by the way, back then, why do we need to? I realized why do we need to actually make it seems like it's a magic bullet, can get rich quick? Because the cost fees is also a bit higher, probably a couple of thousands of dollars. So people in their mind will calculate, pay thousands of dollars, when can I break even? That's why now I'm a lot more comfortable offering low ticket items, like maybe $30, $100. It is why I don't need to make it seem like it's a big magical thing It basically really learn the proper thing. $30 only, just buy a magazine. Netflix also same Then I say sizing everything else. My is no longer a magic formula. It's really proper sizing, proper training. But it's not an easy industry. I don't blame people for seeing seminar industry seems to be is it over promising or that. Well, I mean it is. I also realize people hear what they want to hear. Sometimes they want to get rich quick. They come to you and they whatever you tell them, cannot get rich quick. They cannot remember. They just remember, you make $10,000 yesterday. I also want to make.
It's a part of the marketing sale that you do.
Yeah. So
when do you come to this reflection? Because obviously you have been in this field for a while. You've spent so much on ads, right? When do you come to this realization? Was it just a feedback that you're getting in general? Because I feel at the end of the day, sales is such a powerful thing, right? Like what you said, you can, if I wouldn't dare say use the word manipulate people's perspective, right? And then where is the boundary of where you tread, which your power, you can make people act in a certain way, but then at the same time, there's other.
Actually, do we really manipulate people to act in a certain way?
Yeah, so
I feel that they already want to act in a certain way. You just have to align in a way that, okay, this is what you want. Let me pave the way to, because I think I studied business last time, business school. There's a traditional way of marketing where you sell encyclopedias, force it in their face. Then after that, they talk about a consumer relationship marketing, where you understand what your customers want, and then you create the product for them in a way that they want. So the seminars industry is created in a way that people want to get rich quick. It is not that we are telling you can, but we have to make you see that it is possible, and we tell you that actually quick is maybe 5 years, 10 years. But people cannot remember all this. They say, you make millions, I want to make...
Interpret it differently.
Yeah, okay, I'm not trying to blame the audience, but in a sense, it takes both hands to clap. When did I realize that is actually since the time that I realized people just want my option strategy, not my support.
2014 where you talk to your friends.
I really realized, unfortunately,
that's what they want.
This is what they want. They are like kids. You give them sweet, they come out. But actually, they come in already, you make them exercise. That's the way. Yep.
All right, so I know slight detour, right? Because I do know that faith is something that's important to you, right? And you say that it's something that has bloomed over the years, right? How has that bloomed in your journey in being an entrepreneur? Like when did it specifically bloom for you and felt like it has really made a tangible impact? Like because based on what you said in like the first 18 years, right? Oh, like see Christians they're pushing. When did that really bloom for you? I get the sense that it really bloomed maybe from your 20s after army or how is it that journey like?
I remember the person who inspired me a lot. His name is called Joey. He was an intern in my military as almost my final post. I was a major back then. Then he came in as an intern, and he just glorified God in everything. When we go for a run, he said, "Hey, let me just pray first and dedicate this run to God." And wow, I feel like this guy is different. It's like,
You're not that previously like in that.
I pray for my food lah. Okay, God thank you for the food. Amen. That's it. And it's just become a routine rather than a relationship. So, but this guy, I feel like wow, he has a real relationship with God, and I feel a bit like. I don't know whether the correct word is called jealous, but it's not the kind of bad kind of jealousy. I say, I also want that.
A respect, is it?
Something, it created a certain kind of hunger. I also want that. Like, how come he has so much faith, Then he actually introduced me some other materials when I read by John Bevere and all that. I said, wow, it's a different perspective in Christianity that I never learned before. So, but the whole entire perspective changed. So Christians, I thought was like supposed to be very humble, put ourselves very lowly. It is true, but it's not true. So from Joey actually, that actually created the whole entire arrogance.
The inception of where you picked out a lot more new materials and exposed yourself to learn more stuff.
Yes. So I mean, like even the idea of like, hey, should I make a lot of money? Like business I do so well for what? I'm supposed to be humble, correct? Everything is God's. But I realized actually, if you believe in God and you believe that God is like your savior and you're part of his kingdom, right? Wow, you're supposed to be super awesome, man. Your standard's supposed to be like higher than anyone else because you got God's power, right? Then God will create trash, man. Cannot be what. So if I want to be the best, and last time it was very there's a dissonance. Meaning you say I struggle, I want to be good, but no, I'm supposed to be humble. But I realize if you are truly humble, you know that all this ability and power doesn't come from you. It comes from God. And because it comes from God, it should be even better. So it becomes a lot more aligned. So I felt that helped me in my business in the sense that a lot of times, but people will think you're a bit crazy. A lot of times I don't think anything is impossible. So when I have an idea, I say, hey, this one can do, let's go and do it. Then people will, like they will blink twice. But to me, it's like, sure, come on, one day, if God give me this possible idea in my mind as a vision, definitely can one. And I
for the fact that you thought of it.
Maybe I can't, but it's not about me, it's about God's ability. And there were certain point in times where business go into difficulties. I mean, I say until so like, wow, damn like, awesome, right? But
define difficulties like rate P&L, people leaving, toxic employees, bad hires. How was it like?
One of the very difficult time was some things P&C, so I cannot really disclose. But I remember there was a point in time I had a very like serious situation in my company where there's also legal implications on. And at that point in time, again, I don't disclose the details, but I was very like disturbed. So I just prayed in the morning. I like to wake up early in the morning, go and do my Bible study, and I was preparing my defenses for a potential legal case. Wow. It's a very big case now. Then after that, when I actually opened the Bible, right, there's this Bible app I opened. There put, right, be slow to anger, be slow to speak, just listen. So I say, okay like that, then no need to prepare already, just go there, just listen. Seriously, yeah. Then I went there, I just go there, so I start getting attacked. Then when attack time, they want me to reply. Then I say, okay, I hear that. Anything else? I just say anything else. Then they keep talking, and they have no more bullet. It's like they are trying to fight a guy who doesn't fight back. How to fight? So I felt that in the end couldn't fight. I say, wow, this is really a very powerful defense. Wow. Because you see them getting a bit flustered, like they expect you to like fight back, then they already know what to counter. But they don't expect a guy who say, okay, anything else? Then in the end, they came out with a solution. Hey, how about we do this?
Then it sort of solved the problem.
It solved the problem. Wow. And the solution they give created a way for me for the next phase, which is very amazing. Because at that point in time, if I fight, then probably it will get uglier. But because I don't fight, right, the solution came out, and it created the next path for me to actually had a Buffer online school, go online, and then became like extremely fast. So God works in mysterious ways.
Wow, okay.
That one, you can't.
That's one of the biggest incidences.
Memorable. There was quite a lot. Then there was point in time, sometimes very tiring being the CEO. So I also say, hey God, can you send me a CEO?
Oh yeah.
Then after that, you know,
How's the story of how we met your current CEO? You're sharing a lot of good things and great things about him.
it's amazing. Okay, so my current CEO is called Alvin Ma. I met him when I was in the military and he was my cadet. He was a training to be an officer.
Oh, a long time ago.
But okay, this one, if you have time, I share this particular story, right? Which
sure.
he really created such a deep impression in me. Because what happened was this, he was actually chosen to be the IC, the in charge of the whole entire OCS company at that point in time, my company, 500 people. And they were supposed to go through a particular test. So when they went through a particular test, right, there was some miscommunication by the officer, and the officer say, like, someone was asking, hey sir, how come this one cannot be solved one? This answer cannot be solved. Then the officer say, hey, you see, where cannot be solved? Your friend also solved one. So when during a test, you ask the guy to go and see your friend's answer, it is actually considered cheating, right? But the guy go and see, say, oh yeah, really cannot. Then they start to look at each other's answer. And then the officer, next thing he did was he left the room. Okay, it became a very big case. So Alvin, he was actually there in the room looking at everybody copying at each other.
What the? Okay.
And he was just thinking, like, what should he do? He's supposed to be the IC. He had to take an oath to like uphold the integrity, everything. So he struggled, and I think he did something that I don't feel that anybody else would have the balls to do. He went to report the case. After reporting the case, right, there was like 3 months of investigation, thinking of whether to like dispel of them. Means no more, they cannot be an officer. But there will be a whole gang of officers disappear, right? Then after that, then they couldn't go home for 3 months. Every month confinement. It was very big things.
3 months cannot go home.
And not just 3 months cannot go home, plus every day they get defaulters parade. So they are punished every single day for 3 months.
Every few hours on report, right?
I remember it was very, very bad. It was a very bad situation. The morale was very low. Everybody like just thinking who is the bugger who actually betrayed us. They were trying to hunt that rat, Yeah, they were trying to hunt the rat. And then after that, everything resolved, they punished the officer. Say that they are cadets, they under the environment, under your like supervision, they go and cheat because you actually told them to cheat. So they punished the officer. Everybody was being punished for 3 months. And when everything is over, right, he actually gathered them one night. Okay, I knew that because I went jogging, I came back, I saw them gathering. So I was just like peeping through, listening to what they're saying. And he just told them, he said, hey guys, I want to tell you something. I was the one who actually bao told everybody. And he said, the reason why I do that is I cannot imagine us being officers, we cheat in the exam, and then after that we get commissioned, and then we like sort of like be commissioned by the president, say that we are someone with integrity, but this thing actually get let off. It's a lie. So he say, I have to do this. I know that you guys will hate me, Then wow, people really get angry, People really get angry. But at the end of the whole entire officer stage, during my care, right, when I saw his peer appraiser, means people appraise each other, he get almost full marks. So I said, wow, this guy is amazing. He has high integrity, he wins the hearts of people, and he has the balls to actually, and he knows that all this will happen.
Difficult decisions.
Difficult decision. So this guy, in terms of character, I feel, wow, up there. I think it's more important.
The impression. And how did he come back to you as a CEO?
Oh, so years later, he also was doing he was doing marketing. He's a marketer in another company. And back then, with my previous partners, we were thinking, we were always looking for good talent. And my partner asked me, he said, if there's anybody you want to hire that we haven't hired yet, right, who will it be? He was the first thing that came out. I said, this guy called Alvin Ma. He's like, this guy he's smart, he's not just high integrity, because even in the military, there are some very difficult exercises. I remember defense exercise, very difficult, everybody's so tired, have to do digging and all that. He managed to perform in a way that I've never seen anybody perform.
Perform under stress,
under stress. He's a joker, he's quite a joker. So it's like my boss come and scold him, he can like joke back. I said, wow, this guy really got balls, man. Got balls, got integrity, and very smart. So I said, wow, this guy, if I can have him in my team, will be awesome. And he grew a lot over the years, became really someone super awesome. Yep.
All right, wow, that's a story, man. Okay, I know this is in a while. I'll skip more to the general reflection questions, right? But thanks so much for sharing all the journey in terms of your entrepreneurship life, because I feel like it's so.
Sorry if I deviate a lot. Yeah.
I think that these are the stories that I think like, wow, there's so much things that happen. Because I feel like you're a person that get judged a lot. Like people see your ads online, but then there's a story behind that, right? I do think there's a story, in terms of general reflections, right? 1 year ago, you mentioned your goal of creating the biggest tribe of super humanitarians, right? How does that actualize for you this year?
Oh, really? Thanks to my CEO. So an idea is always an idea lah. So we managed to build a school for kids in Lombok. So Lombok, Indonesia, there's a place where they were victims of earthquake. So earthquake came, school collapsed, killed a lot of children, killed a lot of people, and now the children go back to the school and they are in fear also. Like, wow, what if the next earthquake come? So there's this particular organization called the Classroom of Hope. They use recycled plastic material to create schools. We went to visit them. It's pretty amazing. It's not only cooler, but the key feature is if earthquake comes, plastic drop on you, then even the lights, everything they take into consideration. So we managed to build a school. When I say a school, you all don't think like NTU that kind of school. It is maybe like a shop house, but we are glad to be able to like raise funds for them. And I feel that it also goes back to our tribe and community to tell them that making money is not just about just for yourself, correct? If you can have the ability to make money, giving a certain portion of it will help you become a stronger money manager. I really feel that way. And I think even this year, I cannot remember the target we hit, but probably almost near more than 5 figures. And overall we are aiming to hit 100 million. Sounds
ambitious,
ambitious,
yeah.
but we should be ambitious, yeah.
What 1 year goals do you have in 2025?
2025.
For a person that obviously you have achieved so much, right? What do you still want to achieve?
I don't know whether I've achieved a lot. I mean, depends on who you compare with, right?
Perspective, subjective. But from an outsider, I would say you have achieved a lot, right? But in terms of your own standards, right? In terms of things you would want to achieve to become the better version of yourself in 2025, what would that be?
I would say I have 4 key tracks every single year. It goes back to the 4 key tracks. Sometimes I add a bit more, but in the end, I always go back to 4. And I call it the 4F. First is faith. So what we've got, I really didn't feel that I did very well for the past few years. This year, I want to have a stronger faith, especially in business. It's a struggle also, like being a leader, thank God for like Alvin, he's also a person of faith. So we are thinking how to infuse even more faith into the business, and not for marketing purposes, it's really for like truly caring for people. Like I mentioned the rehab program where people lose money.
Yeah. That's so painful to go through.
They really need help. Can we really show the love of God through all this now? So faith. Second one is family. So my kids also set goals. One of them want to learn handstand. Quite a few things. One of them want to learn rollerblade, as mentioned. Then my wife want to actually perform better in high rocks. So we have family goals, and I want to also.
What's your timing for high rocks?
My last one was 1 hour 15.
Wow, okay, that's fast.
Is that fast?
That's okay. That's good. Yeah.
So I want to go. Okay, that one.
Keep in mind, you're not a young turkey anymore, lah. You're in your.
What do you mean?
You're not super young, lah. 38. But you're not. But you're. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, sorry.
Like you're at high rocks goals.
Oh yeah. So after that is fitness. So F family, faith, family, fitness. My high rocks goal, I'm aiming to be below 110. So 10, aiming for 105. So I've been joining a lot of run clubs, but that means I must run.
What run clubs are you in?
I'm in almost every run club.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I'm very sad. New Balance just ended.
I was going for the New Balance.
You're in run club, is it?
I was going there for 1 or 2 only. Yeah.
Wow, the people
but I know
very
they closed.
fast.
They closed, yeah.
The fastest group is really very fast.
I know lah, I go for the happy, what you call that?
Oh, happy group. So it's very funny.
Not very fast, very fast.
No, they got different pacing group. So the first one is like usually we aim to run 4:30 per kilometers. So I always try to chase them, but I haven't hit 4:30 yet. It's always 4:40, but environment very high flying environment. And happy group is happy.
So you're joining a lot of running clubs.
Join a lot of running clubs. Yesterday I met one of the High Rocks top champions, but by accident I saw his bag, the tag. Then I realized he like run 103 for pro, and so very inspiring . So this is a fitness. Then the last one is finance . So finance, actually the key thing is to focus on building up the fund. I realized over the years after training so many people, like even I show them exactly what I do, they also can lose money . So I think maybe if I can help them manage their money, will be a service to them. But I'm also concerned. I want to make sure I do a proper job. If it's too big, can I actually handle the liquidity issues and things like that? So I want to focus on finances in the sense of like business finances. So these 4 things.
Thanks so much. Last 2 questions. What's the best advice have you ever received?
The best advice I think go back to my dad. I think in the podcast with Chloe, I mentioned my dad is quite a boring person. When I ask him for advice, he will say, hey, pray, and then pray, have faith, read the Bible. I think this is one very good advice. If you've not tasted or like experienced it before, try to pray. And then ask for specific things. challenge God sometimes. Hey, if you really got, help me now. I mean, I remember one funny story. Sorry, just a quick one.
Sure.
So Elim Chu is a founder of Street 77 Street, is it? One of the entrepreneurs in Singapore. So she mentioned to us that one day she prayed to God. She said, God, I want $2 billion. I work so hard, I want $2 billion. She very specific. 1 week later, right, a foundation called her, say, hey Elim, we have a $2 billion foundation. Can you help us manage? Then she said, oh God, $2 billion.
Wait, so specific then it was also, yeah, because there are some coincidences or things that I work lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I said $2 billion in my bank account cannot God. No, not the foundation. But I see God sometimes got a sense of humor. So okay, first advice, pray and have faith. Second advice, I think test and learn. So take your whole entire journey towards success as an experiment. I feel that when I experiment with my investing, it's a lot easier when I try to invest and make money. I say, I want to test this out, see what's the result. I backtest already, let's test with real money, and I keep testing, okay, doesn't work, okay, I tweak. So I don't take it personally. So test and learn is another way. Yep.
And on that note, test and learn. And thanks so much for coming on this podcast, Sean. I really learned so much, right? For those of you guys who are still around, please check out Chloe's podcast. He talks a lot more about investing specific things, right? Like iron condors, options, very, very interesting stuff. 130% returns, right? To me, that's crazy, but it's all a learning journey, right? So if you want a glimpse into that, be sure to check out Chloe's podcast. And Sean, thanks so much for coming. Thanks, Chloe, for making this happen.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next one.